Dear children, good morning. From your previous chapter, Why Do We Need a Parliament? You must have known that the Parliament is in charge of making laws. In Civics chapter 4, Understanding Laws, you will find the answers to questions such as do laws apply to everyone? How do new laws come into being? Could there be laws that are unpopular or controversial? For example, you may be familiar with some laws, such as those that specify the age of marriage, the age at which a person can vote, and perhaps even the laws dealing with buying and selling of property. We now know that the parliament is in charge of making laws. Do these laws apply to each and every citizen of our country? How do new laws come into being? Could there be laws that are unpopular or controversial? Okay, so here in this chapter you can understand important topics which are discussed in this chapter. Okay, children, laws are fundamental rules and guidelines for living in a society. Imagine playing a game of cricket without any rules. There would be no concept of team and no concept of pursuit. It would turn into a group of people chasing and aimlessly hitting a ball in whichever direction and without boundaries. No rules, no over limits, and no umpires. Just imagine what will happen. Accordingly, there would be no win or loss or a result. You cannot play any game this way without setting boundaries, without making rules, without umpires. You cannot play any game. Similarly, even inside a house, a family maintains some rules. There is a routine which is to be followed, which is controlled by the head of the family. There is time to play, time to study, maintain correct noise levels, respect elders, eat timely and properly, etc. So, rules, whether oral or written, have to exist for smooth functioning of our everyday lives. Can you understand, children? Okay. On similar lines, a society which has a large number of people has to have some rules to obey, to abide by, or else it would not be a healthy and fair environment to live on. If everyone starts to live in his own way, what will happen? Children, tell me. They would turn into something like animals living in a wild jungle. This is why any civilized society frames some laws and then it has to form a system to enforce the laws and bring the defaulters to book. Once the society frames the laws, they should be applicable to all, irrespective of caste, creed, economic or political power. Okay, children? Now, rule of law. Okay, it's a principle. That means no one is above the law. The rule of law respects as equals. It allows us to organize our lives, plan our futures, and resolve disputes in a rational way. There are several examples throughout the history wherein people have fought and struggled for the rule of law. It should be done only in accordance with the written, publicly disclosed laws adopted and enforced in accordance with the established procedures. Okay, so the rule of law is not in favor of the dictatorships as well as for any particular person. It cannot exist without a transparent legal system. Okay, children, the rule of law is the principle that no one is above the law. Okay, all are the law cannot discriminate between the persons on the basis of their religion, caste, or gender. Okay, what the rule of law means is that all laws apply equally to all citizens of the country and no one can be above the law. Neither a government official nor a wealthy person nor even a president of the country is above the law. All are equal. Any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment as well as a process through which the guilt of the person has to be established. Okay, children? Evaluation of laws in India during the historic times, that means ancient time, laws were more or less arbitrary. Okay, that means at most time unwritten laws. They were framed based on local community requirements, their religious beliefs, and differed for groups within the society. Okay, the system of law and punishment for a particular crime or similar crime or offense varied from case to case, and there was no uniformity in application of laws in ancient time. There were personal, political, and economic aspects which affected the enforcement of laws, making them unrealistic and impractical. Okay, even women rarely got justice as society looked down upon the rights of equality towards the women and considered them as inferior to the menfolk. During the Mughal Empire, there were mainly rulers who dictated the laws as per their personal will. Okay, during the British rule over India in the 18th and 19th centuries, the laws were framed by the British colonial rulers as per their political and economic interest. They believed in the principle of divide and rule policy. The Britishers, they therefore made laws like the Sedition Act of 1870 and the Rowlatt Act of 1919 with the purpose of arresting any person without trial. And the doctrine of lapse passed by Lord Dalhousie was aimed at expanding the British territories in India. This doctrine stated that a dependent or subsidiary Indian state would pass into the British hands if the ruler died without a natural successor, male heir. They imposed laws to charge taxes on salt, a basic necessity for human life. All these acts were repressive in nature and against the will of the people of India. Collectively, these led to the struggle for independence, where people wanted to have laws for their society, which were for their interest and not for the British emperors. The legal profession began to develop in India, with many Indians joining the legal profession. Some of them rose to the rank of judges and they began to defend the legal rights of Indians. Thus, because of the rise of the Indian nationalist leaders and the legal professional, the laws in India evolved in a better system. Okay, then what happened after independence? The Indian government framed the Constitution of India. Thereafter, the elected representatives of people, along with the legal professionals and learned people, started the process of enacting laws which were as per the wishes and desires of the Indian people. They did take into account the various cultural, communal, and social systems to make the laws as practical as possible, with the basic framework of ensuring the rule of law are equal before the law. There are various types of laws were formulated that is aimed at promoting welfare of the people. There are different laws to protect different groups of people from exploitation. Okay, in this chapter they discussed few laws about that, and they discuss about the unpopular and controversial laws. Okay, so children, we need to remember that our role as citizens does not end with electing our representatives. Rather, it is then that we begin to use newspapers and the media to carefully chart the work that is being done by our MPs and criticize their actions when we feel it's required. Thus, what we should bear in mind is that it is the extent involvement of the people that helps Parliament perform its representative functions properly. Okay, children. Have a nice day. Thank you.